We are going to talk briefly about what is called black and white thinking, or polarization. And do you want to make any comment about that?
I have black and white thinking about black and white thinking. It's always one or the other. But I suppose we see this all the time in our politics, for example, where it seems that there are just two extremes to thinking. And I mean, I suppose, again, it also appears in psychology when we think about it. You either consider somebody evil or good. Like, for example, figures like Martin Luther King, who obviously is fantastic, but we tend to only think about the great things that he did.
Yeah, I mean, the FBI were persecuting Martin Luther King because they discovered that he had a little bit of a problem with the ladies.
Yes.
And which is not good if you're a Baptist minister, let's be honest about that. But we must see people for all of who they are. I'm very concerned about the amount of trolling and the amount of vitriol and anger, which we'll talk about in another video, that we see exhibited on the internet. It's as if people, they join a team and then they fight against the others. Yeah. Do you know about the Greens and the Blues in the Roman Empire?
No, I don't.
The chariot teams developed followers who became the Greens, not to be confused with modern Greens, and the Blues, not to be confused with blues music, and or anything else. And they fanatically supported one team or another, but they then came during the rise of the Byzantine Empire, when the centre of the empire moved from Rome to what is now Istanbul, but was called Constantinople after Constantine, who founded it at the beginning of the 4th century. They became a political power within the state, and you basically got this two-party politics. It's run again and again and again through our society, that you have two sides and they throw things at each other. So you have Democrats and Republicans, or you have Conservatives and Labour. Here it used to be Conservative and Liberals, but Liberals messed up in 1923. But this idea that there are that there's positive and negative and there's nothing in between. Now, I don't think the book 50 Shades of Grey had anything to do with this, but there are actually more than 50 Shades of Grey, and they're not all pervy.
Yeah, that's right.
Often there are, we have to think about the world in a far more complicated way. It's a typical aspect of controlled people that they will simply, they will only see positive and negative. So I was horrified to see my friend Steve Hassan's excellent new book, The Cult of Trump. When you go into the comments section on the Daily Mail newspaper, there are all of these comments which are from people who haven't read the book but love Donald Trump. Now, we would prefer, so it's, stupid, stupid, stupid. And in America, this rages. We've got this term libtard, which is a retarded liberal, which is not based, this idea of hurling brickbats at each other, of attacking each other. How sensible is this? How clever is this? So this part, and we will talk in another little video very soon, like in about 2 minutes' time. This is to say that things are not that simple. There are things that are evil. Doing antisocial things, being hurtful to other people, harming other people, being full of vitriol, anger and revenge, that's probably a bad thing in terms of black and white thinking. But most issues are more complicated than that. We would ask for a certain degree of tolerance and politeness, and the ability to listen and consider other people's point of view. Because let's face it, human society is doomed if we don't grow up enough to treat each other with respect. I'm John Atack.
I'm Sam Atack.
And thank you for your company.